notes and you can just like feel them. I've got no idea what he's singing about, but so good. Okay, obviously. I don't want to interrupt Linda there, but oh my God, like getting your precious violin. Kia ora and welcome. My name's Zoe Stevie and I'm your vocal coach for today because we're going to be taking a look at Pete and Linda with, I'm so sorry, I'm not even going to attempt to say the name of the song. It's obviously in the description, at the Eurovision Grand Final. I think Pete has the most fantastic voice and I was so excited to look at their grand final performance. I did watch this on Saturday, so we're going to take a really close look at what he's up to with his vocal technique, how is he creating these sounds, and how on earth can you make them through a lot of practice and hard work, I tell you. And more importantly, if you want to join me for more vocal analyses, my name's Zoe Stevie. I've been a vocal coach for 18 years. Join me for completely unbiased vocal analyses of the best live performances out there. Hit that subscribe button so that we can hang out more often. Let's just get straight to Pete. Pete, sorry. I saw that she called him that in an interview. I think, is it Pete or am I saying that wrong now?
Miten tunteet vois jäädyttää? Sä oot.
Just honestly, since I looked at the grand final performance, I've been learning about Linda. What a fantastic violinist. And you just hear the depths of the sound of her beautiful violin. I know nothing about playing the violin. I played it for 10 weeks when like 12 years ago. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we've got this quite difficult interval. Whenever we've got a really large interval in our songs, we're wanting to make sure that we're setting up the second note when we're singing the first note. We'll talk a little bit about that because I know that he does a couple of crazy intervals.
Ois viisaampi häipyttää. Miten tunteet vois jäädyttää? Sä oot. Samas illas, savu ilmas, etin ihmisjoukost sun. Puhut muille, sun tutuille, oot ku et ees tuntis muu.
This is obviously down in his chest voice register. We're around middle C there, which is C4. That's around, like really well within the male chest voice register. We've got thick vocal folds in that sort of midsection of the range. So we don't need to do too much mouth movements when we are in more of the spoken part of the vocal register.
Samas illas, savu ilmas, etin ihmisjoukost sun. Puhut muille, sun tutuille, oot ku et ees tuntis muu. Vähän outoa, et sä kato mua silmiin, ku viime yönä et saanut must käsiä irti. Vaik sä suu tuntuu, niin se hyvältä tuntuu.
I like literally this year at Eurovision, I'm like absolutely obsessed with all of these languages. This sounds like he's speaking so fast. So many consonants in this section. And that's why it's really important as well that he's keeping that mouth, like, I'm not saying closed, but he's got that mouth relatively closed as if he's having a conversation with someone. Because if he was going and over open and do too much jaw movement, that would slow him down. So to be really, really speedy, we're wanting to be economical about that. Let's just go back on that. This is so perfect. Wonderful.
Samas illas, savu ilmas, etin ihmisjoukost suu. Puhut muille, sun tuttuille, oot ku et ees tuntis muu. Vähän outoa, et sä kato mua silmiin, kun viime yönä et saanut muist käsiä irti. Vaik sä sul tuntuu, niin se hyvältä tuntuu. Ois viis.
I don't know if you noticed that, but that was all that was all in one breath with like 4 sentences there. And I was just taking a keen note, okay, of what his chest was doing in that moment. And it's perfect because we can see what's going on with the muscles. Do you notice though he wasn't sinking in the chest when, I mean, look, he's a professional singer. Professional singers would not do this. I see this a lot in the studio where singers can't try to get the air out. Actually, if we hold the shoulders back and keep our sternum high, we're going to be able to hold on to more of that breath, and we allow the abdominal muscles to push the air out from the because if we collapse in, we end up straining more here in the neck.
Miten tunteet vois jäädyttää, kun sä oot liekin heitin. Oh, saat mut palamaan. Saat sut palamaan. Oot niin kuuma, mut jää kylmää. Sä oot.
You can just like feel I've got no idea what he's singing about, but you just feel that pain. Can you also see that on his face? But we hear it in his voice through that cry of that thyroid tone. But I actually don't even know what the melody is because I was too busy focusing on Linda then in that moment. I want to just go back a little bit so that we can take note of what is he doing with his breath in this moment. We're seeing really short, sharp, high breaths. Now that's going to help us keep the vocal folds thick as we are going higher in the range. It's imperative that we make sure that we are increasing subglottic pressure by increasing pressure here within the chest.
Miten tunteet vois jäädyttää, kun sä oot liekin heitin. Oh, saat mut palamaan.
So good. Okay, obviously professional singers, he's got his like technique right down. I was taking a really keen look at his Adam's apple there because that's the larynx. The Adam's apple is the we all have one. It's just that male singers or males in general have a sharper angle at the front of their thyroid cartilage. It's sort of like and also their larynges or their larynx tends to be bigger than a female larynx. So obviously that's dependent on like the size of the person, and just like someone can have big hands, someone can also have a large larynx. The larynx, let's just watch that again so that you can see what I'm talking about. Watch this larynx, it's perfect. Did you see that? He took a slightly lower breath there. We heard it in that moment. The larynx went down. This is why I'm saying look, he's doing his thing. You can also hear the and he's pulling the note back up again. Can you hear the That's why actually he didn't pull the note. He's pulling the note down. But did you see that he did the lower breath? The larynx got pulled down and then he hit a lower note. That's a way that we can actually kind of, it's not resetting the larynx at all, but we can use the breath to assist us in the larynx position. As he's going for a lower note, he's taking the larynx back down in that moment. And then for those higher notes, he's taking the larynx up. And this is just like the epitome of really, really awesome vocal technique when we are changing the breath according to what type of note we're trying to create.
Miten tunteet vois jäädyttää, kun sä oot liekin heitin. Oh, saat mut palamaan. Saat sut palamaan. Oot niin kuuma, mut jää kylmää. Sä oot.
I just had a little chuckle at in. And now I watched this on Saturday and like, honestly, now the camera completely ignores him and like is just basically focused on Linda. So it's hard to see what he's up to. But he's going, ba-da-da-da-da. We've got thicker vocal folds further up in the range. I really think this is almost entering the realm of belting. We can hear that kind of that brilliance that comes along with belting. Ba-da-da-da-da. And actually what's happening is the cry, that I wasn't belting in that moment, yeah, but the cry chord is actually tilting back to allow the vocal folds to become thicker than thick. We're also getting quite a lot of constriction coming into the sound in that moment, so that's why my ears are maybe a little bit confused with what's actually going on. I don't really know how he's creating that constriction. This could be a way that's actually causing him a little bit of a tickle in the throat. Maybe it's not. I don't know, Pete. So I don't know how he's creating that sound. My friend on Saturday, actually, because we had a bit of a Eurovision party, she was saying, oh my God, that bow looks like it's broken. And for any of you thinking like, what's going on with her bow? That's totally normal in a performance. And especially seeing as Linda in this moment, even though I can't hear her strings, I can hear she's playing 2 strings at the same time. So when you're playing more chords on the violin, you're also having to press down a little bit stronger. And so that can sometimes cause the hairs on the bow to break. And the hair, they're actually horse hairs on that bow. And then a professional violinist will get them rehaired it sort of depends on their playing style, but it's totally normal for that to happen, actually.
Voiko ihminen kuolla kiimaan jo aina kun ollaan iho vasten mä saas palovammoja kolmannen asteen. Oh dear Lord.
We saw it again, that really, really long use of the breath. Look, a professional singer finds this kind of like their bread and butter. He's also got thick vocal folds, which means that we can honestly sing for ages and ages and ages without needing to take a breath because we're not using a lot of air, especially lower in the range. But what's really interesting to see is that he's taken the volume right down, and that also means that we're using less air when we're taking the volume down. We have less breath pressure, so there's like less coming through.
Aina kun ollaan iho vasten mä saas palovammoja kolmannen asteen. Oh dear Lord, saanko vielä yhden kasteen, kun syntiä taas teen. Ois viisaampi häipyttää, mut tulen vieläkin leikin. Miten tunteet vois jäädä?
I mean, this sort of stuff for a violinist of like Linda's caliber is like easy peasy lemon squeezy for a lot of what she's playing. But the point is the way that it fits in with the entire performance. So I just want to go back to this section here because we're also seeing that there is, again, lower volume, more economy here in the mouth movement. And he does like a pull up before he starts singing a bit higher.
Yhden kasteen, kun syntiä taas teen.
Okay, it wasn't singing high. He pulled upwards, and we saw an increase in the pressure, in the work going on here. That's what what he's probably doing, okay? A lot of this is also what I would teach my students or what I would be doing myself in my own body. Like, I don't actually know for sure what's going on. This is a reference point, and there's never like one rule to rule them all. Vocal technique is so varied and so different, which is why if you really are looking to improve your singing, you need someone to like show you step by step how to create these sounds in your voice, not like random exercises that aren't specific to your vocal range, to your vocal needs and your goals. And that's exactly why I would love to sit down with you and have a chat about your vocal goals so that you can genuinely practice and know that you're doing it right, know what to practice, and you're actually going to be getting results. Come and have a chat with me. You can sign up for a call in the description below so we can really help you to hit those voice goals.
Syntiä taas teen. Oh. Ties viisaampi häipyttää, mut tulen vieläkin leikin. Miten tunteet vois jäädyttää, kun sä oot liekin heitin. Oh, saat mut palamaan, saat mut palamaan. Oot niin kuuma, mut jääkylmää. Sä oot.
I don't want to interrupt Linda there, but oh my God, like getting your precious violin that close to the flames. I know I saw an interview where this is like from 1750 or something like that. Like that violin will be worth I'm assuming like over €1 million, right? Like really, really good professional violins go for a shitload of money. But I don't really know how much it's worth, but a lot of really, really good violins go for a lot of money. Did you see the increase in the energy there? Now that's probably also due to the fact that the emotions, the stakes have gotten, bigger in this section of the song. But when we're also singing higher in the range, we need to have more bodily energy. It's not necessarily about doing that. He can do that because he's a professional singer. I would suggest to you to stand up really tall if you are singing it. But we do need to bring on more bodily energy to support the sound. Oh my goodness me. I saw this in one of the rehearsal videos with someone and it's crazy. They literally had to boot it from that window all the way to here. Like they ran so fast, and that is why she is breathing like that, because she literally had to run for her life with her violin in those heels. Like the things we do for stage, I do kind of find it's a bit sad that Eurovision has become so much about the TV and so much less about the audience that's actually there, even though they're paying a shitload of money to be in the room. Like it's just so much about the TV, and that kind of think it's a bit of a shame, I have to admit, because it should really be towards the audience as well. Let's just go back on this because he changes from a chest voice. This is a perfect move over the two passaggi into the upper register. Now the passaggio, which would be one of them, literally means passage in Italian. And that is the passage between the chest voice to the head voice and then the head voice into the falsetto as he's going higher. Don't know how much of that he's actually singing and it kind of gets blended in. I mean, I know that there's sort of background singers as well, but when we're going and we're trying to do that all the way from the bottom of the range up to the top, we're basically I always say to my singers, I say we're throwing off weight. We're allowing the vocal folds to thin. We're allowing the larynx to raise. And this is where a lot of singers go wrong. They try and hold on to that one feeling, hold on to that pressure. Whereas actually singing is about continually changing the which is the predominant section, group of muscles that's holding onto the sound. And so we're constantly going chest voice, thicker vocal folds, and thinning them out as we go higher and then into the falsetto and allowing them to come apart there. But more importantly, it's all about the thyroid tilt. We talked about the Adam's apple. That's actually the thyroid cartilage. When that tilts forward, that allows the stretch on the vocal folds to happen. Funnily enough, my hairdresser, who's literally just here because I just got a new haircut, she was just doing some singing because she's a singer, and she was like, Zoe, can we just go through the section of a song together? And we did, and literally I kept on saying to her, more cry, more cry, more cry, more cry, because that's how you end up getting higher in the range. But if you want to learn about how to make your song sound more sung, sometimes it's not just about adding more cry. We actually need better vocal fold contact. We need, in order to get this type of level of articulation that Peter's got in this song, we need to be working on different sets of muscles, and that is through set exercises that I would give you for homework every single week during your singing lessons. So if you are really looking to get super serious about your vocal technique, I can help you get there. And I would love to see you to talk about vocal strategy so that you can really hit your vocal goals. The fact that you may have not made vocal progress in previous lessons is not your fault. It's often because the teacher is explaining it the same way, the over and over and over again, expecting you like to somehow magically mean something different to you. And the way that I teach is I will explain it to you in a whole bunch of different ways until it makes sense to you personally. And that is something that I really pride myself on, to make sure that if you don't understand something, that is not your fault. That is my fucking fault. And is for me to find a way for you to understand it. So you are an amazing singer. I know that you can do this. If you have the will, I have the way. I feel like that was very salesy in this moment, but anyway, whatever. I live my life sometimes in memes. This was an incredible performance. I was so shocked to see that this did not do better. I have to admit, I was so shocked that the audience vote was so low on this performance. It's a fucking kick-ass performance. I have to say, Pete was probably not one of the strongest vocalists there, but it wasn't needed. It didn't need any more than what he actually did. That the song didn't need, like, what is better vocals actually? I mean, like, there was like some stunning soaring ballads, like with Czechia and with like Delta, you know, like we had some of those and with Bad Love, for example, from Malta, we had some of those like really long vocal lines. That is not what this is. Pete bought that's why they wrote the fucking song for his voice, right? Like, I thought that this would have done better, considering it was such a fan favorite and such a bookie's favorite. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought about the results for Eurovision, because I must admit, I was quite shocked that this didn't do better. I was shocked actually in general by some of those points. Anyway, whatever. That's a talk for another day. Check out some more Eurovision up here, and I would love to see you around here more often. I'm a full-time vocal coach. Subscribe to the channel so that we can geek out together about vocal technique. Oh, I've got to hop to my next lesson. So I'll see you soon. You're amazing. Ka kite anō.